Step out for me.
Yes, sir.
Place your hands behind your back for me. All right, right now you're just being detained. You're not under arrest.
A shocking recording has surfaced. King Harris, the son of rapper T.I., is heard pleading from behind bars, demanding immediate help. In today's video, we will break down what the leaked audio contains and how it's changing everything we thought we knew. The arrest unfolds. Warrant executed in Dunwoody.
Hey, what's up, sir? I just wanted to, cause they talking about a warrant. I, honest to God, don't know what they talking about. And I just wanted to know the update on it.
Okay, well, when he's done, he'll come back and he'll tell you, okay?
All right.
The evening of October 14th, 2024 brought a dramatic turn. King Harris was pulled over in Dunwoody, Georgia, after nearly colliding with a patrol vehicle, according to police reports. Officers claimed they detected the smell of marijuana and spotted a firearm on Harris's person, which was removed without resistance. But the decisive factor wasn't the traffic stop itself, it was the bench warrant. The warrant stemmed from a 2022 case. Harris had failed to appear in court in Pickens County on charges including speeding, driving with a suspended license, and DUI. Once police confirmed the active warrant, Harris was taken into custody. He was booked into DeKalb County Jail before being transferred to Pickens County to face the outstanding warrant. As media and legal observers circled, the arrest seemed poised to reopen old cases and spark new litigation. This arrest is more than a procedural matter, it's a reckoning. Harris's 2022 charges were never fully resolved. Court records show multiple violations and unresolved counts. Now, prosecutors and defense teams alike must confront a tangled web of old and new allegations. The story doesn't end with cuffs, it's only just beginning. Charges on the table: DUI, firearm, and failure to appear.
I will. You need anything? You need anything I cannot do for you?
Nah, I'm straight.
Okay. Well, all right, then. All right, baby.
Is there any number that you want to write down before? Is there a number that you want to write down before your phone go dead?
So, in the end, King Harris was arrested for failure to appear in court, all stemming from his old 2022 charges: speeding, driving on a suspended license, and DUI.
In the wake of his arrest in October 2024, authorities confirmed multiple pending allegations against King Harris. The most immediate are the outstanding charges that triggered his detention: failure to appear in court, driving under the influence, DUI, and driving with a suspended license. The failure to appear warrant originates from a 2022 case in Pickens County, Georgia. Harris was accused of violating traffic laws, then missed a scheduled court appearance, prompting a bench warrant that lay dormant until now. In addition, during the traffic stop, law enforcement reported detecting a scent of marijuana and locating a firearm on Harris's person. He did not resist when officers removed the weapon. These developments add layers of complication. Prosecutors may argue that the possession of a firearm while an active warrant is issued worsens his standing, especially if accused of related offenses. The DUI charge remains a point of contention. Authorities say they smelled alcohol or marijuana during the initial stop. The defense will likely request test results, cross-examine procedures, and challenge probable cause. The gun charge and DUI combine to raise the stakes. If both are validated, Harris could face harsher sentencing or bail conditions. Meanwhile, legal observers stress there's an interplay between the past and present. The 2022 traffic matters are still unresolved in court, meaning the new arrest does not simply supersede them. It revives and amplifies them. Defense attorneys may push to sever proceedings, delay hearings, or suppress evidence tied to the stop. On the prosecutor's side, combining all charges into a single case might give them leverage in plea negotiations. The immediate question is this: will the courts treat these as distinct infractions or combine them into a broader prosecutorial strategy? As the case moves forward, each charge will be scrutinized, not in isolation, but as part of an entangled legal framework that may define King Harris's fate. Warrant history. Tracing the 2022 case. King Harris's legal quagmire didn't begin in October 2024. It traces back to August 2022. Court records show that he was charged in Pickens County with a trio of traffic-related offenses: speeding, driving with a suspended license, and driving under the influence of drugs. Those charges never fully resolved. Harris missed a scheduled appearance in court, prompting a bench warrant for failure to appear, a procedural move that effectively froze the case in limbo. At the time, the missed hearing signaled not merely neglect, but opened a door for prosecutors to escalate the matter. For years, the warrant lay unresolved. Harris's legal exposure increased incrementally, as each missed hearing and undetermined motion layered risk upon risk. Defense counsel would later argue that the delay in enforcement and the gap between the original charges and his October arrest raised due process concerns. Critics of Georgia's bench warrant system have pointed to cases like this, where warrants linger indefinitely with little oversight. By the time Harris was pulled over in October 2024, the 2022 case had become a time bomb waiting to detonate. Once law enforcement ran his information and discovered the outstanding warrant, all pending charges, past and present, converged into a unified legal threat. Compounding the problem, the amount of time passed has implications for evidence, witness availability, and statute limitations on related procedural motions. Defense attorneys may push to challenge the enforceability of the warrant or argue suppression of new evidence connected to the decades-old case. Prosecutors, meanwhile, are tasked with stitching together a consistent narrative across years. In short, the 2022 cases are no longer background noise. They're the foundation on which the current legal drama rests. To understand Harris's situation now, one must see how old charges, procedural lapses, and unhealed warrants all paved the road to this decisive moment. Body cam release and courtroom dynamics.
Man, I can't believe this nigga pulled me over. I can't believe this shit.
In the fallout of his October 2024 detention, attention turned to surveillance footage and law enforcement records, particularly a body-worn camera, body cam, that captured portions of the traffic stop. Legal analysts say the body cam footage may become pivotal during suppression hearings. The defense could argue constitutional violations or highlight discrepancies in the officer's narrative. During the stop, officers claimed they smelled marijuana and observed behavior justifying further search. If the body cam footage reveals discrepancies, say lack of probable cause, deviation from procedure, or ambiguous interactions, Harris's team may press to have critical evidence thrown out. Courts typically allow suppression challenges under the Fourth Amendment when stops are deemed unlawful or improperly executed. In court proceedings, tension intensified as defense lawyers and prosecutors sparred over footage access, redactions, and chain of custody. Prosecutors insist that all relevant recordings have been preserved and disclosed. The defense insists on independent verification. Judges overseeing motions have weighed whether body cam video supports a reasonable suspicion or was tainted by overreach. Moreover, File 1 records show that during early hearings, the prosecution turned over limited footage, claiming privacy concerns and jurisdictional limitations. The defense responded with motions to compel full disclosure, including raw, unedited files. In some hearings, the judge granted limited access. In others, they required in-camera, judge-only review to balance privacy versus fairness. Courtroom dynamics also shifted. Prosecutors have sought to block witness testimony about altered video by law enforcement. Meanwhile, the defense has challenged the credibility of dashcam logs and officer reports, pointing to inconsistencies in timestamps or file metadata. The judge's rulings on these motions could reshape the case. If suppression succeeds, the state's ability to prove DUI or gun possession may crumble. In open court, attorneys warily chose their words. The defense emphasized civil liberties, due process, and the risk of coerced compliance. The prosecution stressed officer discretion, public safety, and lawful police work. Even as public attention swelled, judges remained under pressure to keep proceedings fair. As these motions play out, the body cam footage is not merely a tool of documentation, it's a battleground. Will Harris's team successfully dismantle the state's narrative, or will the prosecution's version hold? The next chapter could decide how far this case leans in either direction. Defense strategy, motions, bail, and suppression. By early 2025, King Harris's defense team had shifted into overdrive. Their first priority, secure bail and thread legal motions designed to erode the prosecution's case from the inside. Courthouse filings confirmed that his lawyers aggressively sought reduced bond and alternative pretrial conditions, citing Harris's community ties, lack of serious prior felonies, and arguments that lengthy detention would prejudice his defense. Simultaneously, they filed motions to suppress evidence stemming from the October traffic stop in Dunwoody. Central claims: the initial stop lacked probable cause, the search was overbroad, and evidence of claimed intoxication or firearm possession was tainted. If the court grants suppression, Georgia prosecutors could lose the most critical pieces of their case. Other motions focused on the chain of custody and video disclosures. The defense requested access to raw police video, dashcam metadata, and officer activity logs, insisting that discrepancies must be resolved before evidence is admitted. In at least one hearing, the court ordered in-camera review of portions of footage to determine whether redactions or omissions were justified, a sure sign that judges are treating video integrity as central to the dispute. On bail, the defense argued that conditions like GPS monitoring or surrendering firearms would suffice. They contended Harris is not a flight risk and pledged full cooperation with the court. Prosecutors countered that the nature of allegations, including DUI and weapon claims, justified more restrictive release terms or even denial of bond. Meanwhile, pretrial schedules have been delayed as judges deliberate the suppression motions. Each postponement buys the defense time to challenge evidence, negotiate with prosecutors, and build a narrative of constitutional violation. A favorable suppression ruling could collapse the state's case before it ever reaches a jury. In sum, Harris's legal team is waging a two-front war: fight to get him out of jail and undermine the state's case before trial. Whether they succeed hinges on courtroom rulings on search legality, video transparency, and the strength of the prosecution's remaining evidence. Prosecutor moves, evidence, disclosures, and pushback.
The General Assembly needs to really take a hard look at the charging process through the court commissioner.
As King Harris's legal battle intensified, the prosecution faced mounting pressure to present a compelling case. Central to their strategy was the body-worn camera footage from the October 2024 arrest. The footage, which captured Harris's compliance during the stop, was pivotal in corroborating the officer's accounts. However, the defense raised concerns about the completeness and authenticity of the footage, prompting the prosecution to ensure all relevant materials were disclosed in accordance with discovery rules. The prosecution also sought to introduce evidence of Harris's prior charges from 2022, including DUI, driving with a suspended license, and speeding. While such evidence could establish a pattern of behavior, the defense argued its potential to unfairly prejudice the jury. The court was tasked with determining the admissibility of this prior conduct, balancing its probative value against the risk of undue prejudice. In response to defense motions to suppress, the prosecution emphasized the legality of the traffic stop and subsequent search. They contended that the officers had reasonable suspicion based on Harris's driving behavior and the observable firearm. The defense countered by challenging the officers' actions and requesting suppression of certain evidence, arguing violations of constitutional rights. The evolving legal landscape underscored the complexities of the case. As both sides prepared for the upcoming hearings, the courtroom became a battleground for legal principles and strategies. The outcome of these motions would significantly influence the trajectory of Harris's case, potentially determining the charges he would face and the strength of the evidence against him. Trafficking allegations enter the fray.
On October 10, 2024, in broad daylight in Dunwoody, Georgia, things quickly escalated for T.I.'s 19-year-old son, King Harris.
In July 2025, a new and explosive layer was added to King Harris's legal troubles. Sabrina Peterson, a former friend of T.I. and Tiny, reignited allegations of trafficking involving the couple and their son. Peterson accused them of coercion, forced drug use, and trafficking, claiming to possess trafficking receipts that she intended to release on her birthday, July 19th. These allegations resurfaced amid ongoing legal battles involving other celebrities, including Sean Combs, who faced similar charges. The timing of Peterson's claims brought renewed attention to the Harris family's legal issues, complicating their already precarious situation. T.I. and Tiny have vehemently denied these allegations, dismissing them as baseless and part of a smear campaign. In response, Peterson threatened to release the alleged evidence, escalating the public dispute and intensifying media scrutiny. The impact of these trafficking allegations on King Harris's case remains uncertain. While no direct charges have been filed against him, the association with such serious accusations could influence public perception and potentially affect legal proceedings. The family now faces the dual challenge of addressing these new allegations while navigating the complexities of King Harris's existing legal issues: the media frenzy, public perception, and family fallout.
Yes, Kai Mary, we're learning charges were in fact filed against the rapper T.I. and his wife, Tamika Tiny Harris. That's according to the Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office.
The October 2024 arrest of King Harris ignited a media firestorm, with outlets like TMZ, Hot 97, and Fox 5 Atlanta providing extensive coverage. Footage from the arrest, including body cam videos, quickly circulated online, offering the public a first-hand look at the incident. In the nearly 30-minute video, Harris is seen complying with officers' instructions, which some outlets highlighted to portray him as cooperative. However, the presence of a firearm and the subsequent arrest fueled debates about his behavior and the legality of the stop. The media's portrayal of Harris, combined with the serious nature of the charges, led to widespread public scrutiny. Discussions on social media platforms and news comment sections reflected a mix of support and criticism, with many questioning the influence of celebrity status on legal proceedings. Some commentators expressed sympathy, citing his youth and potential for rehabilitation, while others were less forgiving, emphasizing personal responsibility and the consequences of repeated legal issues. Within the Harris family, the arrest added strain to an already complex dynamic. T.I., Harris's father, publicly expressed his disappointment, stating, "If he keeps that up, his ass going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Can't nobody stop him but him." This candid remark highlighted the tension between familial support and the need for accountability. The family's public image, built over years of media presence and public appearances, faced challenges as a result of the arrest. While some fans and supporters rallied behind Harris, others questioned the family's role in his upbringing and the apparent lack of deterrence from previous incidents. The incident underscored the complexities celebrities face when personal matters become public spectacles, impacting both their personal lives and professional reputations. The fallout. T.I.'s public outcry and family rift.
My son. Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas. His ass going to prison. If you goddamn keep it up, his ass going to prison.
The October 2024 arrest of King Harris sent shockwaves through both the public and his family. As the son of rapper T.I. and actress Tiny, Harris had long been in the spotlight. However, this incident brought his personal life into the harsh glare of public scrutiny. The arrest, stemming from a failure to appear in court, was compounded by allegations of driving under the influence and possessing a firearm without a permit. T.I.'s reaction was swift and candid. In an interview, he expressed his disappointment, stating, "If he keeps that up, his ass going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Can't nobody stop him but him." This public rebuke highlighted the tension between parental support and the need for accountability. The family's public image, built over years of media presence and public appearances, faced challenges as a result of the arrest. While some fans and supporters rallied behind Harris, others questioned the family's role in his upbringing and the apparent lack of deterrence from previous incidents. The incident underscored the complexities celebrities face when personal matters become public spectacles, impacting both their personal lives and professional reputations. As the legal proceedings continue, the Harris family remains under intense public scrutiny. The outcome of King Harris's case could have lasting implications, not only for him, but also for his family's public image and legacy in the entertainment industry. The verdict. What comes next for King Harris? As the legal proceedings against King Harris continue to unfold, the focus has shifted to the upcoming trial and the potential outcomes that could significantly impact his future. The charges against him, stemming from a 2024 arrest in Dunwoody, Georgia, include failure to appear in court, driving under the influence, and possession of a firearm without a permit. These allegations have placed Harris at the center of a legal battle that could have lasting consequences. The prosecution's case relies heavily on the body cam footage from the arrest, which shows Harris being cooperative with officers during the stop. However, the defense has raised questions about the legality of the traffic stop and the subsequent search, arguing that Harris's constitutional rights may have been violated. These motions to suppress evidence are currently under review by the court, and their outcomes could determine the strength of the prosecution's case. In parallel, the defense is actively working to secure Harris's release on bail, presenting arguments that he is not a flight risk and has strong community ties. The outcome of these bail hearings will influence Harris's ability to prepare for trial outside of custody. The public's perception of Harris has been shaped by media coverage, with some outlets portraying him as a young man caught in a difficult situation, while others focus on the seriousness of the charges. This media attention has added pressure to the legal process, as both the defense and prosecution navigate the complexities of the case under the public's watchful eye. As the case progresses, the legal strategies employed by both sides will play a crucial role in determining the outcome. The court's rulings on motions to suppress evidence, the admissibility of prior convictions, and the granting of bail will all contribute to the trajectory of the trial. The final verdict will not only affect Harris's future, but also set a precedent for similar cases involving young individuals and the legal system. In conclusion, King Harris's legal journey is far from over. With significant motions pending and a trial on the horizon, the decisions made in the coming weeks will be pivotal. The outcome of this case will resonate beyond the courtroom, influencing public discourse on justice, accountability, and the challenges faced by young individuals in the legal system. King Harris's legal saga has unfolded as a cautionary tale of youthful defiance clashing with the weight of the law. From a 2024 arrest in Dunwoody, Georgia, to facing serious charges, his journey reflects the complexities of navigating the legal system under public scrutiny. As the case progresses, it raises questions about accountability, the influence of celebrity, and the challenges young individuals face when entangled in legal troubles. The outcome will undoubtedly resonate beyond the courtroom, prompting reflection on justice and personal responsibility.